Each week on this video, we'll give you sneaky waiver wire ads that you could pick up and hold on your roster or put them right into your lineup. This is for week 9. I'm Alan Seslowsky here with Jeff Erickson. Jeff, let's get right to it. Running back situation. Talk me through the whole Tennessee Titans thing and who we picking up.
Okay, so Derrick Henry is scheduled for surgery on Tuesday. By the time you watch this, you may have already had it. Depending on where you hear the timeline, it's either out for the season, 6 to 10 weeks, or if you're Mike Vrabel, declined to give a timeline. But just look at how they acted. The Titans went out and they signed Adrian Peterson right away. All day should be someone that you should be looking at. He probably won't even need that much time to get up to speed. And it's not like we haven't, the Titans offense is the one that, he's the type of back that fits in pretty well. He doesn't need to necessarily be a great pass catcher. So, he's going to be the priority pickup this week. You're going to see some heavy bids. You got a long-term absence, an offense geared around the running back, a running back that has a track record. He's not going to catch a lot of passes. Jeremy McNichols will do that. But they didn't throw the running back that much anyhow. So I don't see too many things changing that way. I think you throw in a bit on McNichols if he's there. It's a shame Darrington Evans is out for the year, but he's out with the knee injury. So he would have been the obvious pivot. You mentioned Mekhi Sargent as a guy that tore it up in the preseason. He's kind of like been hovering back and forth between the practice squad and the regular roster all season. He's a deep dive.
It's one of those guys, if you have an empty roster spot and the waivers runs, you could just pick him up and stick him on the end and see what happens type of guy. Well, how much fab would you push in for Adrian Peterson? Let's flip our bid cards over on the count of 3, 2, 1. Wide receiver. There's not a superstar so to pick up this week, but there are a few players that are worth rostering. Who's a sneaky ad for week 9?
Okay, first obvious ad, Devontae Parker. He might have been dropped in some leagues, came back against the Bills in week 8. Was very busy right away. Eight catches, 11 targets. He didn't get in the end zone, didn't have a big play, but he's capable of doing that. They're sour on Preston Williams, who was suspended for discipline issue. He's probably not available. So go Van Jefferson instead with the Rams. They're trying to trade Deshaun Jackson, who's unhappy with the snap count. Jefferson every single week is getting more and more snaps. This is the last week he's going to even be widely available. He's probably rostered in most of my leagues, at least the 12 to 14 teamers. But take a look, see if he's there. I like him.
I like that. Van Jefferson is certainly going to be a every down player before we know it, if not already. Tight end position. Each week, it's just, I keep cycling through tight ends. Just when I think I'm set, I have Robert Tonyan playing well. Boom, he's out. Is there anybody out there this week that I could stream or pick up and hope that is a rest of season play?
You might want to just take his replacement, Josiah DeGuara, from the Packers. He had 2 catches, 2 targets for 20 yards. It's a committee, though. They're going to have Mercedes Lewis and Dominique Daphne and Tyler Davis maybe even will be playing there. So he's an option. If you want to sway him against the current, you can go with Jeff Swaim. He's getting more reps now at tight end for the Titans. He's now mostly the starter. So that's something that you may look at there. And tight end's kind of thin this week. And of course, take a look at what the Raiders are doing. Let's see what happens with Darren Waller coming off the bye. There might be some people that just, they rostered Moreau as his replacement and then dropped him this week because he was on bye. Check to see if he is available. That might be an option too.
Yeah, and it goes without saying, if Dan Arnold is out there too, he's a low-owned roster player right now. So definitely just give a check to see if he's out there. Okay, usually our conversation around quarterbacks is uneventful, kind of boring, especially in one QB leagues, but there was massive injuries this week. Kyler Murray might miss a few weeks. Talk us through. Jameis Winston's out for the year. Let's go through this slowly. Let's talk about 2 or 3 quarterbacks in a Superflex or 1 QB league that we could pick up this week.
Well, I think the conversation starts with Taysom Hill, and he didn't even play last week, wasn't even active. And we don't even know if he'll be active this upcoming week, but we know what Trevor Siemian is for the most part. He is a replacement. If you're in a Superflex league and he's got the job this week, great. But Taysom Hill's the guy that can win you leagues. That's the guy you want to prioritize. Okay, four starts last year, all over 20 fantasy points, a couple over 25. You look at who they're playing coming up. They've got a pretty friendly fantasy schedule. They play Atlanta this upcoming week. They get Tennessee after that. And then the Eagles after that. Those are 3 pretty good starts in a row. So Hill might not even play for you. He's risky. He's volatile. but he's also got a higher ceiling. And this is what we're looking for right now. Especially if you're in a standard QB league where it's just one QB, this is especially where Hill is going to be more interesting.
How about Mike White? Could you use him Thursday against the Colts if you just need a quick spot start?
Yeah, I expected a little bit of a reckoning. He played great against my Bengals. No doubt about that there. Kudos to him. The Bengals couldn't get off the field against him. The only way they could is by cheap shotting him one time, and that extended a drive. And then, Johnson got the rest of that drive in a field goal. But for the most part, I think he's going to be someone you can use.
Check your waiver wire too, because Justin Fields was probably dropped. Is that one game, or are you thinking that he could continue on and have another productive game from a fantasy perspective heading into Week 9?
Bears play at Pittsburgh on Monday night. It's not a great matchup. The Steelers are a problem for opposing quarterbacks. We saw, this is why we got excited about Justin Fields, right?
You could see Jeff's value beater every week. He ranks all of the players by position and overall. Go to rotowire.com/try, and you can see all of our premium content for free.